Today on All Caps. The betrayal of the century. UNRWA's mask has finally slipped. We're exposing the explosive report confirming over 100 UNRWA staffers are being referred to the U.S. State Department for their chilling ties to the Hamas October 7th massacre. Next, the Phantom Leader. Tehran claims Mojtaba Khamenei is calling the shots. But where is he? We're airing an exclusive Shurat Hadin parody about the leader who is nowhere to be found. Plus, the heart of Israel. We're ending on a viral note, celebrating the unity and warmth that makes our country unlike any other on earth. And joining us today, an IDF hero who gave everything for the Jewish state, Rabbi Liraz Zeira. It all starts right now.
Welcome back to All Caps. This is so good to see you all again. I'll let you know what caught my eyes this week, which was the UNRWA investigation. You know, USAID had an external investigation about UNRWA and found out that 101 employees of UNRWA participated in the massacre of October 7th, aided Hamas organization. And we're not talking about people that wrongly operated or incidentally were involved. You're talking about school teachers. You're going about school principals that served as commanders in Azadin al-Qassam Brigade, commanders in the Hamas operatives. And this shows that what Israel claimed at the beginning of the war, that UNRWA is part of Hamas, proved to be clear and true. And we in Shurat Hadin have already a lawsuit against UNRWA.
Yes.
That's what we want to hear.
Like, Nitzana is speaking, and you're like, okay, when is the lawsuit? When is the lawsuit coming? Okay, tell us about the lawsuit.
Yeah, it's on behalf of victims, families of hostages of October 7th. Jonathan Semerano, that was kidnapped to Gaza by employees of UNRWA, put into UNRWA vehicle.
There's footage of it, right? There's footage showing that.
Yeah.
Like
on video, on screen. The head of UNRWA said, of course, he didn't know. Guterres, the General Secretary of the UN, said he doesn't believe it happened. But now there is an independent investigation of USAID proving specifically that UNRWA is actually Hamas.
And what's the goal? To close UNRWA?
Yeah, the United States already defunded UNRWA. Israel obviously tried to push it away, but I want to do like a whole global effort to discriminate and really get away from UNRWA.
But you can, does UNRWA have like a bank account where you can, when you're going to get the money?
Of course they get.
Right now, UNRWA exists, so as long as it exists, they have assets. If I get a judgment, I can go after its bank accounts.
Yes.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Well, what caught my attention this week, there was a note left by Lebanese Christians in their home to IDF soldiers.
Really?
And the note reads, "We are Christians. We love you. And thank you for emptying Lebanon from Hezbollah. Please take care of our homes because no one is helping us restore them."
Wow.
Unbelievable.
I have chills.
My heart breaks for them. They're having to leave their home because they're caught in the middle of a conflict that they never asked for. I mean, living under Hezbollah as a Christian has been impossible. That's why the Lebanese Christian diaspora is so big. I mean, look at Detroit and Sydney and Sao Paulo, Brazil. There's huge Lebanese population, and they're largely because they had to flee their homeland.
Yeah.
So they fled Hezbollah's stronghold, and they couldn't breathe in their homeland. So we do have one thing in common, us and them. We both want to be free of Hezbollah, and when that day comes, a free Lebanon, we will fly to Beirut and you to Tel Aviv. We will drink coffee in your country, and you will sit on our beaches, and we will be the neighbors we were always meant to be.
Yes. Amen.
So exciting message.
There's somebody invited me on my Facebook, a Lebanese, says, Nitzana, we have to have coffee in Beirut once this is over.
This week we saw Jerry Seinfeld, the comedian. He went to the Knicks game to watch a basketball, and he wanted to come back home, but he was, I will not say attacked, but he was asking by Palestinian supporters to say, Free Palestine, and this is what he answered.
What up, Seinfeld? What up? Can we get a free Palestine? Can we get a free Palestine? Come on, give us one free Palestine.
It doesn't exist.
Oh, yeah. Jerry is becoming
Jerry.
more
Yes.
a Zionist every day, I gotta say. He knows exactly what to
He is a
answer.
Zionist. He
but that
his
answer-
visit Israel in October 7th. He's a big supporters of Israel. And, you know, I ask myself, where is the limit? Why you harassing people? And also we saw a video from last week that people called out Mary Ellen in London.
Yeah.
I will not say what they say to her, but where is the limit?
No limit.
Why these Palestinian supporters allow themselves to harassing people? Because they know he's Jewish. They know. And of course, this video becomes so viral and stuff. People are attacking Seinfeld, but he didn't say something that is not true. There is no place that's called Palestine.
Yeah, but
So
there's
what-
like levels of Zionism. At the beginning, you start with, when they say free Palestine, what do you say at the beginning? Well, free everyone, free from Hamas. You start by that. And then slowly you move into, it doesn't exist, just leave me alone.
Yeah.
So what caught my eye this week, or hurt my brain this week, is what's happening in New Jersey. Democrats have nominated Adam Hamawi for Congress. Let's look at Adam Hamawi.
Yes, I am. I'm very happy about Tuesday, and I was running on something very simple: is that we should be spending on healthcare, not bombs. We should be spending on our communities here, in New Jersey, in America, and not funding bombs overseas for, atrocities and genocide. We should not be funding the endless wars that we're seeing.
Yep. So the Democrats have nominated Adam Hamawi for Congress, a candidate who testified on behalf of the Black Sheik, the mastermind behind the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. Rumor has it that their next candidates will be the flight instructor of the September 11 hijackers, the Japanese navigator behind the Pearl Harbor attack, and Jeffrey Dahmer's life coach. Yeah, a lot to look for. It was also reported that Mr. Adam Hamawi has strong ties to Al-Qaeda, or as MSNBC and CNN likes to call it, a diverse background. And the Democratic Party has defended Hamawi's background, saying, death to America doesn't mean you hate America. It only means you're running for office. Hamawi's background also includes working at the Al-Shifa hospital for a whole month, which is impressive. But what's even more impressive is that he never noticed he was standing on top of the largest terrorist tunnel ever discovered in Gaza. Yeah. But in his defense, he was suffering from tunnel vision.
I ask myself if he saw one of the hostages.
Do you think he cares? Do you think he cares?
Well,
if he testified in behalf of the mastermind behind a bombing in New York, and he says we should care about healthcare and not bombs, the amount of hypocrisy, it's like art. It's like I almost admire the artistic hypocrisy that he has. It's a level that it's beyond and above.
You used to have that self-hating Jews. Now you have self-hating Americans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we often speak about sacrifice in abstract terms, but today we have the honor of hosting a man who embodies the definition of sacrifice. Rabbi Liraz Zeira, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
You paid the ultimate price on the front line, being a hero and losing your both legs. It's really an honor for you for us to have you here. And I would like to start perhaps by asking you to take us to this moment. I think it was 8 months ago, like around Yom Kippur. You are a major in reserve. You lead your unit. You are in Syria. And what happens?
So this is the last day of 7 months service in Syria, followed beforehand by a year in Gaza. And this is the last day where we're actually getting ready to give the responsibility to the next unit. And as I'm going through the outpost and making sure everything's ready for the next unit, this is the last outpost. It's called Tel Qudna. It's around the middle of the Golan Heights, but in the Syrian side. And it's the morning. I get there with a truck filled with water, with supplies, things for the next holiday coming up, which is Yom Kippur, as you mentioned, and then Sukkot. Everything to make sure that they're ready for it. Because this is a unit that was under us, paratroopers and reserves, but they're staying for one more week, and we're leaving tomorrow. So I came to say goodbye. We served together for a few months, and I really appreciate the work. Say thank you. And as I'm giving them their supplies, it was a beautiful morning. And not just the sun was shining, but also people-wise, we had a very good connection, and we were dancing together. And one of the guys brought the shofar. I blew the shofar to get ready for Yom Kippur. I spoke a bit about the holidays coming up, and as we're getting ready, someone said maybe I should go through the posts, the different soldiers who are standing and guarding around this. It's a very tall mountain, high mountain. It's an old volcano in the Syrian side. So I went to see all the outposts around. And one of the outposts told me that he thinks that he heard from one of the guys that something's broken on the outskirts of the outpost. So I went to see. I wanted to make sure it's fixed before we get switched. And as I'm walking outside the outpost, I left from the back gate. I told the guys that I'm leaving. I'm going that way. So if they see someone coming from Syria, it's probably me. And hugged them, said goodbye. And as I'm walking towards there, I walked to a very high point in the outpost. And as I'm walking around, checking everything, I slipped. Later on, we learned that I slipped on a hand grenade that was lying there for 8 months since Israel took over that outpost. And I slipped on it. And as I was hitting the ground, I heard the sound of the ignition of the grenade and then the explosion. It turned me over on my belly, and I was trying to figure out what happened. My legs weren't responding, but my ears weren't ringing. So I figured if they're not ringing, maybe it wasn't such a big explosion, which meant I don't know if anyone else heard this. I'm pretty far away. I'm 250 meters from the outpost. It's a very windy area. A lot of explosions happen anyway. I had no idea if anyone noticed it, heard it. Later on, I learned that they thought maybe a door was slammed or something like that.
Wow.
But Baruch Hashem, so the guys that were in the back gate saw the smoke.
Yeah.
And they called everyone. And I started rolling myself down this hill towards the trail, and then started crawling for around 40, 50 meters.
Did you feel something that? Did you feel pain?
I felt pressure in the beginning. The adrenaline didn't give me pain yet, but I felt the pressure, and I felt the legs weren't responding. But as I started crawling, then I started feeling weaker every second. I'm losing a lot of blood.
Yeah.
These are the main two arteries of the body and the legs, so I felt a lot of blood is coming out. I felt weaker every second, but I knew I have a mission. I need to stay alive. And if I need to stay alive, I need to get as close as I can to my guys. And so I was just focused on that, focused on my mission. I didn't care if I'm eating dirt while I'm doing it or whatever. I knew one thing. I have to get as close as I can to it. And 2 minutes after the explosion, 2 minutes and 20 seconds to be accurate, the guys came to me, applied 2 tourniquets on my legs, and saved my life on the spot.
Wow.
And I'm hearing the guy, the platoon commander, going on the radio and reporting it to get the evacuation. And he's saying, 1 wounded, it's the rabbi. I usually walk around with a black hat, even when I'm in the army. It's either a helmet or a black hat. I switch between them. It's a very known, everyone who knows me knows
this is your sign.
My sign, that's my symbol, to walk around with that. And then I heard 2 legs amputated. That's the first time I heard what happened to me. And interesting, I don't know how to explain it besides many years of being an emissary in Chabad. I instantly understood I have a new mission in life. I didn't feel like, oh, why me? Or what happened or why I would be feeling sad, I felt very vividly that I have a new mission in life. Everything's going to change, and I'm going to grow from this.
But when did you become a rabbi?
So I became officially 12 years ago, 13 years ago.
Recently, you welcome your sixth son, right?
Right. Yeah.
Mazel tov.
Thank you. And you're Simchas B'ezrat Hashem.
Wow. This is amazing. And how does this feel for you, like to be a father after all you have been through?
So it's interesting because our kids were pretty close to each other. The births were pretty close to each other. And this is the biggest break we've had. It's 4.5 years since our last birth. And we were waiting, expecting, to when it's going to happen. And my wife called me a day or two before the injury happened. And she said, I can't understand why I called you. Usually I'll wait for you to come home, say this in person, say on the phone. What's the rush? She felt she had to call me and tell me this.
Wow.
And I felt like it says that Kadosh Baruch Hu makdim refuah l'makah. God gives you the medicine before he hits you. And that's what I felt. That waking up in the hospital, usually there's a custom not to tell anyone besides us, besides the couple, the first 5 months. And we really waited to tell everyone because we knew it's not just a cure for us, it's a cure for everyone around us.
Wow.
And
What is his name, by the way?
His name is Asaf David. He's named after two very holy people. One is Asaf Hamami, which was killed on October 7th, leading the 7th Division of Gaza. We served 20-something years beforehand as officers together. And then second, David is David Meir, who was also an officer in Sayeret Matkal and was killed on October 7th in Be'eri. And he was a neighbor in Achlaot, and we do a lot of the things we do in Chabad campus in Yerushalayim. We do it in his name now.
Wow.
You yourself are a very unique individual. You are Haredi and you're serving in the military. And for many of those who don't know, there's a huge, heated debate in Israel of whether or not Haredi should enlist or not. What would you say to those who are against enlisting, those who are Haredi?
I respect every opinion, and everyone's entitled to have their own opinions. But I think what we really need to understand is to respect each other. And even if you feel like you shouldn't draft because you're Haredi, because you're humanitarian, whatever it is, you should do it with respect to the other people. And I feel that's part of the problem right now. We're going through a time where maybe elections are coming close, and I feel like being together, the word together in Hebrew is yachad. Mm-hmm. And if you break the word into initials, then yachad is yesh chilukei deot. Being together is having differences, different opinions. And that's definitely something I respect. I just really want everyone to have a discussion and not an argument. Not yelling in each other's faces, not going to other people's houses, and not respecting their privacy, all those things, definitely out of the game. If we do it through respect, through honoring each other, and through trying to figure out, to understand how the other person's feeling, I feel like most of the discussion is not going to exist.
But in your personal experience, did the army stop you of being like religious or
it's definitely a big challenge. The more you are in a battlefield and the more you go through training, harder trainings, it's definitely harder to keep a frum life, to keep an observant life. But it's not always a bad thing to have challenges in life. But it's definitely not something that's easy.
But the Torah is full of stories about battles. About Jews fighting, not sitting. I never read a story in the Torah about Jews sitting in a room, praying and waiting for God to help them. I never saw Moses sitting in a cave saying, God, can you please do this for me? I'm going to read here. This is all about stories about Jews fighting. King David was the biggest fighter. Yeah. So how did that become from A to B? I don't understand. The Torah is you. You are the embodiment of the Torah.
I definitely feel like it's something possible. It's not something simple. It's exactly like walking with prosthetics, Mm-hmm. It's possible. I'm doing it. Yeah, I recommend other people to do it.
I love this. This is
it is possible, and you're really amazing. And also Prime Minister Netanyahu thought you were amazing. See what he said.
רב סרן הרב לירז זעירה, לוחם מילואים ורב צבאי, איבד את שתי רגליו מפיצוץ רימון באזור החיץ עם סוריה. אבל לירז מסרב להיכנע למגבלות הגוף. הוא מתעקש לחזור לחיים. הוא חדור תנופת שליחות לטובת העם. הוא אומר, לקחו לי את הרגליים והביאו לי במקומן כנפיים. אלו הן כנפי גבורה, כנפי רוח, כנפי ניצחון.
We met in Miami just this a week ago, and I saw you speaking, and probably it's your mission to go around the communities in the United States and elsewhere. So I want to ask you, what do you see from there that perhaps we don't see from here?
First of all, it was amazing to see. It's the first time I'm in Florida and saw all these amazing communities. For someone who lives in Israel, you're not always aware of how many Jews live all over the diaspora. But sometimes you think, okay, they live in a few places, but seeing huge communities, which it's rare to see them even in Israel, even in Jerusalem, to see such a big community coming together and very united. It was surprising, first of all, to know that it existed. And it also gave me hope in knowing that we have power all around the world. And I was very surprised to also see that they're not afraid. That you see Jews walking around the streets. From here, you read about it, and sometimes you think that maybe everyone's afraid to walk around the streets of New York or Miami as a Jew, and to see Jews walking around on Shabbat wearing their talis on and walking as Jews everywhere and coming to communities together and gathering up as Jews, it really gave me the inspiration to know that if they're doing it, we can do it here, and together we'll overcome everything.
You've been going through a very long rehabilitation process since your injury. What have you learned about yourself in this whole process?
I'll start from the surprising point, maybe. You were talking about resilience and how I cope with things. I have to say that the hardest part it's been 8 months, hardest part was one night waking up in hospital and jumping out of bed into my wheelchair and wheeling myself to the water machine, and there were no cups. That was the hardest moment of these 8 months, really. So a lot of people, when they tell me that they have a hard time, sometimes I tell them, look, we all have hard times, really. And you can never control what's going to break you.
Yeah.
But one thing I learned is you can't control what breaks you, but you can control your reaction afterwards. If you're going to stand up and grow from that, and I think that's something we all have to work on. Not when it comes, but beforehand. And train ourselves to that state of mind of positive thinking. It doesn't really happen on itself. You have to work on it with yourself, with your partners, with your family. When you do that, when it really comes, we're going to stick together and really grow from these things. I'm going to run faster than I ran before, and I started doing sports I never did before.
Wow.
Because of my rehabilitation. I'm swimming, I'm doing a lot of things. I was always afraid to ski, because all my friends broke their legs.
Yeah, mine too. That's
now look,
You
I don't
ski?
have that problem. I want to.
You can't he's not going to break his leg.
Right. That's
Yes,
the
I understand, but can you ski with the...
Yeah.
You can break your arm.
I can break my prosthetics. Don't worry. So yeah, going to things I never did before and growing from it and understanding that everything in life. I tell my kids all the time, no one likes homework. It doesn't matter if your job gave you homework or your school or whatever. No one likes homework, but everyone likes a riddle. Everyone likes a challenge. I think our challenge in life is to look at things as a challenge and not as a hardship. And once you do that, it's like a marathon. 20-something years ago when I ran a marathon, there were no marathon in Israel. Tel Aviv was a 21-kilometer. Jerusalem didn't have any marathons at all. Now all of a sudden everyone's running. Why? And they're paying money for it.
Yeah.
And they're buying shirts for it and gels and whatever. Why? Because good marketing.
No,
Listen, you're
Rabbi
incredible,
Zeira.
and your story is
Yeah.
so inspiring,
Really.
and who you are and everything you do together, which is Torah and fighting. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
Such a great
you
example.
are running for the long run, for the long range, and you're an inspiration. So thank you so
Thank
much
you.
Thank
for
you.
coming and joining us on this show.
Thank you very much.
Since the Israeli strike that reportedly left him seriously injured, the Iranian regime has insisted that Mojtaba Khamenei is alive, issuing instructions, shaping policy, and guiding the regime's nuclear negotiations with the United States. There is only one problem. No one seen to have seen him. No public appearances, no verified photographs, no speeches, no interviews, no proof of life. Yet, somehow, we are told he's still calling the shots from behind the curtains, so much so that even President Trump recently remarked that he would like to negotiate directly with him. That mystery inspired this satirical trailer from Shurat Hadin. With apologizes to the classic 1989 comedy, we ask a simple question. Is Mojtaba Khamenei really pulling the strings, or is someone else pulling them for him? Welcome to Iran's version of A Weekend at Bernie's.
Immediately. Recon Team 1 is in position, sir.
For the IRGC, this weekend was supposed to be a blast. But little did Mojtaba know.
We will not bow to oppression. Our leader's legacy is eternal. Death to our enemies.
That Allah has bigger plans. But then came an idea. This summer, Weekend at Mojtaba's Inshallah, coming soon to theaters near you.
The Council of Elders has spoken. He says we must now proceed with the plan.
Alhamdulillah, the revolution continues.
Thank you.
Habibi, mashallah, the show must go on.
You are so mysterious.
Wow, this is how you do it.
Amazing, absolutely amazing.
So funny.
We need a full movie.
Yeah.
Now that's the trailer. Where's the movie?
Right.
So we think he's dead?
I think
He's
we're
dead?
living the movie.
Yeah. You think he's dead?
I believe he's not really alive. Listen, we haven't heard anything. We didn't see any interviews with him, no photographers, nothing.
Yeah, like why?
And we know he was severely injured. We know he was appointed to be the supreme leader right after it happened. And we know that they have messages coming from him, but we haven't seen him. And come on, it's been like more than a month and a half since then. Even Donald Trump, President Trump, wanted to meet him personally and negotiate directly with him. So if he's not alive or he's alive, this trailer just shows the hypocrisy of the Iranian people. So before we go, we need to end with a dose of real Israel. You've probably seen Tal the Traveler online, an American living here who shows the world that beneath the noise and the news, Israel is a place of warmth, kindness, and Shabbat Shalom. Let's take a look.
Excuse me, I wanted to tell you guys Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat. Excuse me, I just wanted to say Shabbat Shalom. Have an amazing day. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. You need help? You okay? Shabbat Shalom, guys. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye. That's the Israel that the media is not seeing. Yo, Shabbat Shalom. Good to see you. Shabbat Shalom. Excuse me, Shabbat Shalom. Be proud to be Jewish. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. حبيبي حبيبي كيف حالك؟ كله تمام؟ يلا باي. Bye حبيبي. That's the Israel the media is not seeing. Look at that interaction. That guy is speaking Arabic with me.
Well, I love this guy. I know him. We talked a little bit on Instagram to make a video also together. And this is so, so special to see the Israeli like this. It's not trivial to see people when you come to them, hi, hello, Shabbat Shalom, and everybody like welcome you and Shabbat Shalom. If you will do something like this in New York or even in Europe,
people will run away, call the cops.
Yes,
for sure.
They will harass you and like call the cops, yeah.
So ladies, thank you so much for one more beautiful show. And to our viewers, thank you for joining us on All Caps. Stay safe, stay sharp, and we'll see you next time.